Welcome back. It's week 7, day 2. Today's reflection question is brought to you by Ermer. If you got to choose to spend a day with any person at all or a celebrity, who would it be and why? Explain yourself and be thoughtful. See you later. Hey kids, welcome back to week 7, day 2. We've only got about 2.5 weeks left of new learning. And then the last week of school, that first week of June, is just going to be teachers reaching out, checking in with you, supporting you in whatever ways we need to help you close out the school year. All right, let's get to it. We have 11 agenda items. Agenda item number 1. Keep active, keep healthy. Agenda item number 2, mystery box. Agenda item number 3, favorite sayings. Agenda item number 4, show and tell. Agenda item number 5, no past students and grade updates. Agenda item number 6, we have our sports page. Agenda item number 7, we've got our comics. Agenda item number 8, power mountain bike team. Agenda item number 9, subscribe on YouTube. Agenda item 10, we have an end of year farewell school update. And agenda number 11 will be our daily activity. All right, agenda item number 1. I am posing, I've talked a lot about running. I've talked a lot about as you acclimate your body, as your body acclimates to exertion and becomes stronger. So I've already lectured a bunch about that stuff. My keep active, keep healthy agenda item today is challenging each of you to go out and do something really cool. Like, go on an adventure hike or go somewhere different. So whatever that's going to look like for you, I don't want to give you too many suggestions. I want you to get outside, get active, keep healthy, keep active, keep healthy. Get outside and do something different. And when you do that, bring your phone, take a picture, and submit that to our show and tell over the weekend. So again, I've got that show and tell. I've swapped it out. It's a new one now, so you can upload new pictures all throughout the weekend. So sometime in the next few days, so we can see you next week in the show and tell, do something really adventurous. Take a picture and then to upload it to the show and tell. So that's your update with Keep Active, Keep Healthy this week. All right, the mystery box. Shout out, again, this past one, again, you snooze, you lose, you don't get to see it, but good job, Cameron and Tyler. Thank you so much. It was fun. We had great Zoom meeting, good calls, just informal chats. It's always fun to catch up and talk a little bit. And I thought that was pretty cool mystery box item as brought to you by my father. The mystery box item this week for week 7, day 2 for the next few days will be brought to you by my girlfriend Susanna. So this one's pretty fun. I think you'll enjoy it, and I bet you I make you laugh. So call in. Again, the best way to do that is message me in Schoology, and then I'll send you a Zoom link. All right, agenda item number 3, favorite sayings. The first saying brought to you by Elias. If you can't find love, there's always pizza. Pizza might be my favorite food. Hashtag sausage and pineapple. What are you going to do about it? Your next favorite saying comes from Alyssa. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Beautiful sayings. I love pizza and I love challenges. Again, change and challenge and hardship is always scary, but it's a part of life, and it is what makes us more resilient. It gives us opportunities to become stronger and to become more resilient to future challenges. So when I look back on all those things that have challenged me, even this current pandemic that we're facing, I am learning that I am becoming a stronger person individually. Right now, I'm becoming better at expressing myself to my friends and my family and my loved ones. I'm learning new ways of coping with this challenge and this social isolation. So So think of challenges as ways of defining how you could become a better person. So thank you very much, Alyssa, for that thoughtful response. And thank you, Elias, for reminding me how much I love pizza. Agenda item 4, show and tell. Gratuitous puppy picture from Caden from the 6th grade. I kept it in there from last week. Cute puppies. Send me your puppy pictures. All right, we've got one from Maddie hanging out and social distancing with her friend Grace on the hammocks. Great job keeping outside and having fun in the sun. We've got one from Carter. Cool. Look at the puppy. Awesome job. Thanks for sharing your puppy picture. And we've got one from Olivia outside on the trampoline. You get to stay away from people. You get to keep active and healthy. I have tinkered around with my carburetor. You can see there's no air filter. That little port there is looking inside the carburetor. It's an older motorcycle, 1994. That's before fuel injected was happening, at least with Harley, and I had to clean it out. Thank you so much for continuing to share those pictures. It's fun. I know I enjoy it, and I've heard from others that from students in their Zoom calls that they've really enjoyed the show and tells. So keep on sharing those pictures. Get out there on your adventure hikes, your Keep Active, Keep Healthy challenge, and submit them to the show and tell. And puppy pictures are always preferred. So thanks again to all of you that shared pictures, and keep on doing that. That's been fun. Item number 5, no pass students.
Yes. Let's talk about the no pass students. You've been warned, no pass students. We're reaching out. I'm coming after you. Get with it. Contact Mr. Ermer. Mr. Ermer, sit down. I'm out of here.
That's tense. I guess Boba Fett said what you needed to hear. As elevated and escalated as that has gotten. Yeah, I mean, you've been communicated to. Wouldn't use language quite as strong as him, but make sure you're getting in touch with me. So I am here for you with whatever you need. I certainly don't want you to receive a visit from Boba Fett. So make sure you reach out to me and I'll help you through. We still have 2 weeks after today's day 2 activity. You have 2 more weeks of content, new content. So if you're behind, don't feel overwhelmed. Just reach out to me and I will schedule time. We can talk on the phone. We can talk online through a Zoom meeting, and I can work through any assignments, and I'll make sure you pass. If you're reaching out to me and you spend some time with me, I'll make sure you pass. So again, check in with me. Agenda item number 6, sports page, coming from Friday, May 8th. Fishing's fresh look driven by the teens. Minnesota license sales have doubled, giving opener a new wrinkle, by Tony Kennedy. Times have changed for Noah Palmer and his favorite fishing hole. In the past, the young teen from Glenwood, Minnesota would hitch a short ride from his mom or dad to Lake Minnewaska. They'd drop him off and he'd walk to a grassy stretch of shoreline to cast for bass. His spot always was unoccupied. Noah said he'll follow the same routine this year for opening day, but with a twist. He'll run a little surveillance before making his move. If no one is there, I'll go get my fishing rod, said the 14-year-old freshman at Minnewaska High School. In a microcosm of what's happening statewide, Noah's quiet, trusty fishing spot is catching on. There's a boom in the number of kids who are showing up to fish. Overall, fishing license sales in Minnesota are exploding this spring, and youth sales have doubled. All right, this sports page comes from Monday, May 11th. Hometown kid Herbeck broke the $1 million barrier. 7-figure salaries were unheard of in these parts before 1985 by Lavelle E. Neal III. One of Kent Herbeck's favorite photos is of him and his agent, Ron Simon. Both are sitting behind a table during a news conference with matching grins the day that the Twins' first baseman inked a 5-year, $5.9 million contract that was groundbreaking at the time. In 1980, Nolan Ryan had become the first baseball player to earn $1 million in a season. St. Paul native Dave Winfield cashed in later that year, signing a 10-year contract with the Yankees that eventually paid him $23 million. The movement hit this market February 12, 1985, this market meaning locally around Minnesota, when Herbeck's deal was consummated, making him the first $1 million athlete on a Minnesota team at the age of 24. All right. I dare one of you to message Mr. Bauman about Kent Herbeck, some of the information you learned about his contract, $5.9 million for a 5-year contract. Message Mr. Bauman. I'll be seeing him Saturday morning on for golf. So if I hear from Mr. Bauman that you messaged him, I'll give you special shout outs, and maybe I'll make something special show up in the mail. Boom, boom. Let's see who could do it. All right. Agenda item number 7, comics. We've got Garfield here. I'm scheduling a wake-up call. Tick, 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 tick. November sounds good. Garfield's a lazy cat. Here's one zits. Are you going to volunteer this summer, Jeremy? I can't. Why not? It conflicts with my plans. And what are your plans? Not to make any. F-. At this point, I'm kind of curious to see how crazy it could get. What do you think they're referring to? All right, I love the funnies or comics. My hair is getting pretty long myself, so we'll see how crazy it can get. All right, agenda number 8, Power and Mountain Bike Team. All right, again, the whole district has a shared team. Power stands for Park Woodbury Eastridge. MTB stands for Mountain Bike. And registration is now open. Go to this website. There is an online informational meeting this Thursday at 7 p.m. So if you want more information, check that out. Again, I'm a big mountain biker myself. I've been doing it for over 10 years. I will be biking with the team. I'm not one of the coaches, but I am friends with the head coach, Drew Vogel, who is a Spanish teacher at Park High School. He's a great guy, great coach, super fun team, and it's great. So if you've ever been interested in mountain biking, you have a mountain bike, or have been thinking about getting one soon, check it out. At least attend the online meeting today. Well, if you're watching this on Thursday. Let me know if you need more information about that. Agenda number 9. Subscribe to me on YouTube. You've been following the links. Click open the link so it opens up its own tab so that you actually get to YouTube, and then click and follow and subscribe to me on YouTube. I bet 20 years from now, you're going to be thankful that you had subscribed to it, so you can go back and watch all this content from when you were in middle school, and you remember Mr. Ermer and those and that 2020 pandemic and distance learning. I think it is pretty remarkable. It's unprecedented times, and so it's a little piece of history that you could save and share with the people that you come to call your family as an adult. So subscribe to me. I think that'll be pretty cool and pretty fun way to reach out and have a little capsule of your history during this very chaotic and challenging time. And something that you were doing in distance learning. Okay, agenda item number 10, the end of year farewell. All of the details have not completely been established, but the school and the administration, the office has been reaching out and telling the teachers we will be planning some type of end of year farewell to our middle school students. It sounds like each grade will have its own day. On that day, it sounds like there will be some type of drive-through experience, so families can walk up or drive up to the bus side of the school, and teachers will be on the sidewalks appropriately distanced, and it will be an opportunity for you to say goodbye, hello and goodbye to your teachers one last time. So look for more information to come. I will be sure to make announcements in my daily videos, but the school will be contacting families with more information about that. I also understand that that's going to be the time where you are able to pick up your yearbooks. If you have not purchased the yearbook so far, I believe there will be extras that you can purchase on the spot. On top of that, it will be an opportunity for you to pick up things that you might have left in your locker. The paraprofessionals have gone through the school, gone through the lockers, cleaned them out, put them in bags, put your items in bags, and we will get those bags for you and bring them out to you. So you will not be going into the school, rather we will be bringing your stuff to you. And that's, again, I hope you show up. Please come in. I'd love to say goodbye to you in person. So look for more information to come about that end of year farewell. All right, agenda item 11. Sixth graders, you have an activity today. The activity is all about what an author's purpose is. And so in today's activity, you're going to be reading a very short poem called Jar of Life. Before you read the poem, in the description of the poem, the author explains that there are some metaphors. The author talks about rocks, they talk about pebbles, and they talk about sand, and they make comparisons to what rocks are, like elements like family. And so we have a jar, as we call it, the jar of life. And it's all a metaphor for the things that we are able to put into the jar. And we have a limited amount of space. And so the poem talks a little bit about balance and how we make room for the limited room we have in our jar. So there's, I think, 4 questions, 3 multiple choice, 1 short answer. Be thoughtful and ask yourself as you're going through the poem about the metaphors. What is the author's purpose? What are they trying to tell us about life with our jar, and what we choose to put in our jar, and how we manage the space inside that jar? So think about what you feel are your rocks and your pebbles and your sands. All right, let's do our read aloud. All right, 6th grade, Bears of the Ice by Catherine Lasky. Chapter 29, Divine and Evil, Strange Den Mates. The passageways became more tangled as they followed Skagen. The strange frost spheres, Kapunquats, descended from the ceiling and erupted from the floor. How do you know Uluk Uluk? Jite asked, her mind whirling with questions. Let's wait until we're all the way inside, Skagen said. Voices carry in this cave, and we don't know who might be lingering outside. He pointed toward a narrow passageway. Those are heligs, which means death air. Very dangerous. Void them. The strange thing is that close to the heligs are tunnels with clear air. If you can get to a clear air passage quickly, you can recover. The 3 cubs followed silently. The cave contained a wondrous and mystical world. The crystal formations cast a radiance of colors. Some shimmered quietly, some glowed, and some burst with vigor. Felt as if the dancing lights of the Ahaliki had flowed from the sky deep into the earth. They descended a series of polished white steps that led to an immense space. At one end, they saw an ice bridge suspended over a pool. There was a familiar soft jingling sound. Dripping from the ceiling were clusters of very slender Kapunquats. Their reflections stifled the water of the pool. But also reflected in the mirror of water were shapes they had seen before, the source of the jingling. Gears, Stellan whispered. This is like Uluk Uluk's Cell 6. But much bigger. Indeed. Skagen stepped onto the ice bridge and looked down on them from above. The escapement wheel, the beating heart of every clock, the one that too many cubs have died on. Too many tick-tocks. Third began to tremble and pressed against Stellan's leg. The clock pieces quivered in the windless space, twinkling between the threads of the glowing worms. The snow leopard descended from the ice bridge, his shadow undulating across the spheres he called Kapunquats. Tell me how you encountered Uluk Uluk, and I'll tell you all I know as well. Jite and Stellan exchanged a nervous glance. Something told them they could trust this creature, but they had been betrayed so many times before. Stellan cleared his throat and told Skagen about their mom. how she'd left them with Taka to go to the den of forever frost. Then Jite cut in and explained what happened with Uluk Uluk, how his directions had led them to the terrifying place where the Rogers lurked. Skagen was silent for a long time before he spoke. I think Uluk Uluk believed that you, Jite and Stellan, have a gift. He sent you in the wrong direction for a good cause. He wanted you to break the clock and save the TikToks from the tyranny of the timekeepers. But it's not worth risking your lives for such a difficult, dangerous mission. At least, I don't think so. There is a better way. But why has this happened? Why are they doing this to those poor cubs? Stellan asked. A long time ago, the good bear Sri, that some called the thief of time, began his life work right here in this cave. Sri's work was the creation of the ice clock, a clock that would help us calculate the next great melting, the greatest disaster of the long ago. Little would he dream that a worse disaster was coming, when bears would begin to sacrifice their own. Sri, that's our ancestor, Jite cut in. Skagen gave her a strange look. Indeed? What is your mother's name, cub? Our mother is Svenna, and our father is Svern. Svern, Skagen whispered. It is, Jite said forcefully. Is something wrong? Stellan asked. No, Skagen said hoarsely. Nothing. I just never what? asked Jite. The snow leopard shook his head as if to rid himself of whatever thoughts were troubling him. As I was saying, years later, the bears of the ice cap began to ask things of the clock that were beyond its power. They could not accept that such a grand mechanical creation couldn't answer all their questions, solve all their problems, and dispel all of their fears. The timekeepers became superstitious and began to worry that they had wronged the clock in some way. So they started to worship the clock like a god, a false god. They thought this false god demanded sacrifice and tribute, and then, and only then, would it disclose the secrets it had kept from them. It is curious, but some creatures need their devils as much as their gods. Know this, cub. The green light in his eyes glowed fiercely. The divine and the evil often den together. Yes, strange den mates, but nonetheless, they have a peculiar attraction to each other. You see, cubs, he looked at Stellan and Jite as he spoke. It is my belief that the Rogers took your mum. Jite let out a gasp, but Stellan merely stared straight ahead. He realized that ever since he saw those Rogers at the ice spine, that notion had been buried deep in his mind. She went in your place. That happens sometimes, especially if the mother is smart, as I'm sure your mother is. Did they make her a TikTok? The words seemed to almost strangle Jite as she spoke. Terror filled her eyes. Stellan reached out and clutched her paw. Oh no, only cubs. They most likely put her to work as a numerator. Would that be safe? Stellan asked. No one is ever safe at the ice cap, Skagen said grimly. Stellan gripped Jite's paw tighter. How can we save her? Free her, Stellan asked. You can't free her till you save your own kind. Skagen paused. In order to save the bear world, you must break the clock. And to do this, you must find your father, Svern. We're getting pretty close to finishing. Let's see how many chapters we have. What a coincidence. We have 4 chapters left in the book. They're shorter, but that's fine. 4 chapters left, and we really, after today, you only have 4 more days of new content. We have 2 more weeks after today. After this week, we have 2 more weeks of new content. The last week of school is for your teachers to reach out to you and just be a support for you and you to wrap things up and to get new information about the end of the school year. So thanks a lot, 6th grade. Don't forget, you are expected to do 20 minutes of reading every single day as homework. Keep it up. Peace.